Hey, hello, and how are you? I'm Will Robinson Smith, your host of Old, New, and Now Playing, joining you for another trailer reaction on this Trailer Reaction Tuesday, and we've got one that I am, let's say, excited for, but also kind of cautious about, because we're talking about The Kingsman. This is the prequel movie to Kingsman: The Secret Service, not the sequel to Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So it's the third movie in this Kingsman franchise, based off of the comic books or graphic novels. Correct me in the comment section, because it's one of the two. But you know, I really loved the first Kingsman. That was directed by Matthew Vaughn. He came back for the sequel, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Not as crazy about that one. One of the things that I loved about the original Kingsman was just it was fantastic in the sort of spy world that they brought us into, and the way that they created this environment of espionage, and you know, the rules that the Kingsman went by, the whole manners maketh man mantra of it. And one of the best parts about it was it felt very grounded and practical, even though it was dealing with this maniac played by Sam Jackson, who, you know, was trying to exact his evil plan. But it always felt like the stunts felt very practical. The world felt like this could be something that might be happening somewhere that we're just not aware of. And then with the sequel, I felt like the stunts didn't really feel as genuine. It just felt a little more cartoony. And so I wasn't as enthralled with that. So now we've got this prequel, The Kingsman, going back before Eggsy ever even came into the picture, before, you know, Lancelot and all those guys, that we see in the sequel, or the movies that we've gotten so far, taking it back to the original The Kingsman. So I'm excited to see what we've got here. And this could go one of two directions, because a lot of like I said, Matthew Vaughn is back in the director's chair. You've got some of the writers that have returned to it. I think the same producing team as well. So hopefully they've retained some of the good things about the first one. They've learned about some of the things that didn't work maybe quite as well in the sequel. So we'll see what we've got here. This is the first teaser trailer for The Kingsman. Let's take a look. Sort of a very desolate wasteland of a place. Battlefield, I guess.
Throughout time, our people robbed, lied, and killed, until one day we found ourselves noblemen. But that nobility never came from chivalry. It came from being tough and ruthless. Real power is not found running off to war. Real power lies in understanding who it is you're truly fighting. And how they can be defeated.
Next year, right? I like that shot.
I know you want to fight, but there are other ways of doing your duty.
The same bar? Or that same place?
Come on.
Yeah, pretty much. With the sword and the cane, I like that. Okay, so I think this could be a return to form. I liked a lot of the stunts that they had in there, and especially the camera work that we saw in that one shot. Let me just back it up here. When we're going through the action sequences toward the end of the trailer, and we get this shot right here. where the camera kind of like slides along the sword. Like that type of camera work I really liked, and that feels like the original Kingsman that we got in, I believe it was 2014 when that came out. But yeah, just like that entire last sequence that we're getting there, the type of action, the way that everyone kind of like moves throughout the space, and especially this final shot right here where they step out of the car, they're in front of the Kingsman tailor shop, and you know, it's clearly evocative of, you know, what we saw in the first movie as well as the second one a little bit. You know, I like going back and establishing sort of the lineage of the Kingsman. I think that's going to be really cool, especially because, yeah, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the sequel, but, you know, they kind of just blew everything up before they had to go to find their American counterparts to the Kingsman. But yeah, no, I like the idea of starting in what appears to be one of the world wars. Couldn't tell if it was World War I or World War II. I think World War I, but let me know just based off of what you were seeing, you know, what you think that might be. Also, that shot where the main character is being blown back on the battlefield, and he's got this like massive, I don't know if that's like an actual shield or that's a door, but the way it was framed made me think a lot of that moment in Wonder Woman when she's got her shield and she's jumping through the window into the warehouse before that stylized fight sequence. So I don't know if that was intentional or if that was just incidental, but everything with sort of the camera work of it, the lighting, the movement of the action there was very evocative of that. So I kind of think that maybe it's sort of a tip of the cap to what Wonder Woman did with that, with fighting in that era. If that was intentional, I love it. If it was incidental, still very cool. So, you know, I'm on board with this. I think this looks really cool. I'm excited to see, you know, exactly what the time period is, get that nailed down a little bit more. But I liked, I mean, we don't get to hear much of anything from our main characters. You hear a lot of voiceover. But, you know, it did what I think a teaser trailer should. It got me, you know, it lets us know when the movie comes out. It introduces us to the tone and the flavor, some of the visuals of what we're expecting here. And, you know, like I said before, it feels, and I hope I'm right, but it feels like it's a return to form for the Kingsman property, and I sincerely hope it was, because the first one really was one of my favorite movies of that year. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would love to see Matthew Vaughn and the team return to something like that. And I think we've got this in the Kingsman. So now I want to hear, what did you think about this teaser trailer for the Kingsman? What do you want to see in a full trailer? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that will do it for this trailer reaction on this Trailer Reaction Tuesday. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video. That's always super helpful. And of course, as always, guys, be good to yourself, be good to others, and I will see you next time.